Jamaica is called the land of wood and water because of its lush, tropical landscape and the towering Blue Mountains located at the border of the Portland and St. Thomas parishes. Every country around the world has iconic landmarks or must-see attractions that make it a top travel destination. If you are a resident or visitor to Jamaica, hiking to the Blue Mountain Peak is one such pleasure you shouldn't miss. The idea of hiking to Blue Mountain Peak had always intrigued me, but it truly took shape when a friend visiting from overseas suggested reconnecting with his Jamaican roots. I proposed the hike as a way to reflect, relive our boyhood memories, and savor a final moment together before he returned abroad. What started with anticipation soon turned into a true test of endurance as the physical and mental toll of the hike became apparent. Despite the challenges, we pushed each other to keep going, and after much effort, we reached the peak, overwhelmed with gratitude for stepping outside our comfort zones to experience the breathtaking view from Jamaica's highest point. And of course, the bragging rights. This journey inspired me to share the experience with others. The Blue Mountain Peak is the highest point in Jamaica, standing at 2,256 meters, 7,402 feet. It is part of the Blue and John Crow Mountains National Park, which was designated a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 2015 for its outstanding natural and cultural heritage. The park spans 41,198 hectares, 101,802 acres, and includes the rugged and forested mountainous regions of the Blue Mountains and John Crow Mountains.
Trigonometric station. Monument here is the trigonometric or triangulation station installed by the British Corps of Royal Engineers to establish fixed surveying stations as part of Jamaica's primary control network for mapping of the island. There are actually two peaks here, Blue Mountain Peak and the Middle Peak. Both are 2,256 meters, but only the latter can be used to triangulate with East Peak, where another trick station is located.
Within the Blue Mountain Cloud Forest, you'll find the Elfin Woodland, a unique ecosystem characterized by stunted, gnarled trees heavily draped with epiphytes such as orchids, bromeliads, and ferns. The forest floor is cushioned with mosses and ferns, creating a lush, verdant landscape. Although this high-elevation forest is not as biodiverse as lower-elevation forests, it is home to a variety of specialized plant species adapted to the cool, moist environment. Planning and preparation. To ensure a safe and enjoyable hike to Blue Mountain Peak, proper planning and preparation are crucial. Here are some tips. Best time for hiking. Many hikers choose to start their trek in the early hours or even hike throughout the night to reach the peak by sunrise. This not only offers stunning photo opportunities but also avoids the heat of the day. Be aware that weekends and holidays might be more crowded. Physical fitness. Make sure you are in good physical condition, as the hike is strenuous and involves significant elevation gain. Gear and supplies. Wear comfortable hiking boots, carry plenty of water, and pack energy-rich snacks. Bring warm clothing for the colder temperatures at higher elevations. First aid supplies. Carry a basic first aid kit that includes bandages, antiseptic wipes, pain relievers, and any personal medications. This can help you handle minor injuries or ailments during the hike. Counters for altitude sickness. Be aware of the symptoms of altitude sickness, such as headaches, dizziness, nausea, and shortness of breath. Stay hydrated, ascend gradually, and take breaks as needed. If symptoms persist, it's important to descend to a lower altitude. Guides and companions. Consider hiring a local guide for their expertise. Hiking with friends or family enhances safety and enjoyment. Accommodation. Plan your stay, whether camping at designated sites or booking a cabin. Overnight stays can break up the hike and provide rest. Weather conditions. Check the weather forecast and be prepared for varying conditions. The weather can change rapidly in the mountains. Navigation: bring a map or GPS device, spare battery packs and/or portable solar equipment, and familiarize yourself with the trail. Follow marked paths and pay attention to signs. Permits and fees: ensure you have the necessary permits and have paid the entrance fees for the national park. Bring loose change to pay entrance fees by cash, as there are no electronic facilities to swipe cards. Latest updates: before heading off, contact the Jamaica Conservation and Development Trust, JCDT, for the latest updates on policies and operations. This ensures you have the most current information for a safe and enjoyable hike. Here is a breakdown of the experience and route. Papine to Mavis Bank. First, we go to Papine, located in the parish of St. Andrew, which is part of the Kingston metropolitan area. From Papine, we travel to Mavis Bank via Gordontown and Guava Ridge districts. The distance from Papine to Mavis Bank is approximately 10.8 miles and it takes about 1 hour and 22 minutes by car. The elevation between Papine and Mavis Bank ranges from 236.9 meters to 909.8 meters. Mavis Bank to the furthest drivable point before Portland Gap. On the way to Portland Gap, you will cross from the parish of St. Andrew to the parish of Portland. The most prominent districts along the way are Hagley Gap and Penline Castle. While you can drive to Mavis Bank, the final drivable stretch to the peak requires a four-wheel drive vehicle and an experienced driver as the road is steep, slippery, and rugged. Local four-wheel drive truck owners offer courier service from Mavis Bank to the furthest drivable point. Prior checks with the JCDT can ensure you get a reputable courier service. At this furthest drivable point, a popular fruit vendor operates a stall that sells fresh fruits and Blue Mountain coffee, among other things. The distance from Mavis Bank to the final drive point is 8.1 miles, taking approximately 1 hour and 26 minutes by four-wheel drive vehicle. The elevation at the fresh fruit stall is approximately 1,238.24 meters. Start of walk to Portland Gap. After disembarking the four-wheel drive, the rest of the journey is by foot. The route to the peak can be described in two sections. The first section takes you to Portland Gap, where a park ranger is stationed. The ranger is part of the JCDT, which manages the Blue and John Crow Mountains National Park. The park rangers help ensure the protection of natural and cultural resources, provide assistance to hikers, and maintain the facilities at Portland Gap. To tour the Blue and John Crow Mountains National Park, the entrance fees are as follows. For residents, $300 Jamaican dollars per adult and $100 Jamaican dollars for children under 12 years old. For visitors, $20 US per person. At Portland Gap, there are adequate rest stops, overnight cabins, and camping facilities. The second half of the journey is from Portland Gap to Blue Mountain Peak. The hiking distance to Portland Gap is 1.7 miles, and with reasonable fitness, weather, visibility, rest stops, and trail obstacles, the hike can take 2 to 3.5 hours one way. The elevation at Portland Gap is 1,704.08 meters. If you made it this far, congratulations, you've just climbed 466 meters up the mountain. Portland Gap to Blue Mountain Peak. From here onwards, Mother Nature reigns supreme. It's just you and the jagged never-ending upward trail, rarefied air, occasional zero visibility, and altitude to navigate. This section is a rigorous challenge for your purpose, mental strength, fortitude, and whatever it takes attitude. And, of course, it's also a measure of how much your other half loves you and how well friends and family care about you in times of sorrows and despair. The distance from Portland Gap to Blue Mountain Peak is 3.5 miles, with a hiking time of approximately 5 to 6 hours. Yes, you heard that right, up to 6 hours to climb another 552 meters in rarefied air and freezing cold by Jamaican standards. Did you know Blue Mountain Peak is one of the coldest places in the Caribbean? Due to its high elevation and unique climate, it experiences significantly cooler temperatures compared to most other areas in the Caribbean, sometimes dropping to around 12 degrees Celsius 54 degrees Fahrenheit. The elevation at the peak is a whopping 2,256 meters. Be fit, be hydrated, be warm. Check out the following clips for a sneak peek. The full tour will be available later.
Almost there, almost there. Persevere, persevere. Extra gear, extra gear. Yeah. Wow. Well, it's now 5:47. Getting to 6 o'clock. And we can see light coming from the east. And also a monster of a hill in front of us. There's no way in hell we're gonna catch that sunrise. Oh yeah. Anyway, press along, press along. No doubt. Yeah. 5:59. 6 o'clock. Still not there yet. It is incredible. Wow. All right. Pushing on. All right, still on the trail. It is now 6:15, and of course the place is getting bright. This is what it looks like from the almost peak. From almost the peak of Blue Mountains, Jamaica. This is what it looks like at 6:15. Yeah. Oh wow. Nose are run, fingers numb. Trust me, everything that's bad. Still don't reach the peak yet. 6:20. Oh yeah. That's the drill.
Start making your plans for a great trip to Blue Mountain Peak. Thanks for watching.